Drake just pulled off one of the biggest scams in concert history, and nobody's talking about it. Fans traveled across state lines, dropped hundreds on tickets, all because his face was on every flyer. But when showtime came, he ghosted his own event. No performance, no apology, just silence. And the viral footage that leaked afterward? It's about to change everything you thought you knew about the Sixth God. In 2025, the Drake experience has hit a new low, and now even his own fans are turning on him. Today, we're unpacking how Drake allegedly scammed his fan base, co-branded concerts with his name despite barely attending, and weaponized OVO branding as a distraction. And once you see the receipts from the Vibes Cartel shows in Toronto, it'll be clear this might be backlash he never recovers from. Let me ask you this. If you saw Drake's face all over the concert flyers, the ticketing site, and Instagram stories, and you bought an expecting Champagne Poppy Live, only to end up yawning through an entirely different set list with no Drake in sight, how mad would you be? Be honest. If you spent hundreds because his face was on the flyer and he didn't show up, would you forgive him? Drop a comment with your honest reaction. Picture this. It's late October, Drake's birthday weekend, and Vibes Cartel's Welcome Home show hits Toronto. But here's the catch. OVO is plastered everywhere, and Drake's name is front and center, from the flyers to the ticket pages. The message was clear. This was a Drake-backed event. Fans didn't just assume he'd show up. Many believed he'd headline. He hasn't done a real show in Toronto in years, so naturally the buzz was unreal. But what actually happened left hundreds of fans feeling misled, ripped off, and played. False hype isn't marketing, it's manipulation. And here's why this stings so badly. Drake didn't just passively co-sign the event. He helped frame it. The promo was carefully crafted, with his name positioned right alongside Vibes Cartel's. The venue was OVO-backed. The Vibes sold as a full birthday spectacle, and even the ticketing platforms featured his face. You didn't have to be a stan to think Drake would perform. You just had to read what was in front of you. And yet, for 2 out of the 3 nights, he never even showed. That's not a scheduling issue. That's strategic misdirection. When branding becomes bait, trust collapses fast. On night 1, Drake did show up, but let's not get it twisted. He didn't rap. He didn't perform. He barely stayed in one place. Instead, he strutted across the stage, delivered a quick "this is for the city" speech, and spun a half-hearted DJ set, mostly remixes of his own pop songs. It felt like watching a Spotify playlist in human form. No hits, no energy, no real moment, just filler. It was a Cameo dressed up as a concert, and fans had no idea that was all they get. A walk-on isn't a show, it's a setup. Then came the clip, a crowd shot from one of the later nights. Drake was nowhere in sight. A guy yawning in the stands. Dead silence. Blank stares. The audience looked like they'd been dropped into the wrong dimension. And to them, they had. They paid for Drake and got a Vibes Cartel headliner with no warning. That footage didn't just go viral. It cracked a facade wide open. Suddenly, people who brushed off complaints as hater talk were watching raw footage of Drake's own fans looking lost and disappointed. That's not hate. That's heartbreak. And this isn't the first time Drake's live shows have backfired. Remember the infamous "It's All a Blur" big as the what? Tour? Fans paid premium prices and got chaos. Booze in Houston, bottles thrown in Vegas, forgotten lyrics in Detroit. It felt like one long cringe compilation disguised as a tour. The special shows for you branding was ironic, because what fans got was anything but special. People walked in expecting a superstar. They walked out wondering if he even wanted to be there. At this point, even Drake's cameos are causing damage. Why is Drake doing this to himself? One word: obligations. His mega deal with Live Nation, reportedly worth $400 million, demands constant output. He's not touring out of passion. He's touring because the contract requires it. That means more shows with less soul, more flash with less fire. No wonder we keep seeing lazy collabs, bare minimum appearances, and burnout in real time. He's fulfilling a quota, not curating an experience. And the fans? They're collateral damage in a corporate squeeze. Drake's new formula is simple. Divide the labor, dilute the blame. Instead of headlining, he co-ops other artists' shows like Vibes Cartels. Instead of solo albums, He drops collabs to split the creative load. It's the bare minimum blueprint. Let someone else do half the work, then slap OVO on it and call it curated. But what fans are getting is a shared experience. It's a bait and switch. When your performance is just standing next to the real act, you're not working. You're ghosting your own brand. Drake's not expanding, he's escaping. One reason this scam keeps working is that Drake has mastered the illusion of being everywhere. He'll appear on the flyer, shout out the show on Instagram, drop a vague caption like, "Tonight's special," and disappear after a 15-second DJ moment. It creates just enough noise to keep fans hopeful, but never enough substance to satisfy. The presence is optical. The performance is non-existent. This isn't strategy. It's smoke and mirrors. Drake's entire rollout for Iceman proves one thing. He's running on fumes. Instead of substance, we got decoys, AI-coded promo captions, a photo shoot with Sexy Red, and stage concepts copied straight from Kendrick's playbook. The music was mid, the messaging messy, the intent pure survival. He's not building anticipation. He's buying time. And the live show bait and switch fits right into this desperate pattern. At this point, it's not a fall-off. It's fraud. Drake isn't just phoning it in. He's engineering experiences that look premium while delivering the absolute bare minimum. He knows how to generate headlines without doing the work, and OVO events have become his latest tool. The branding brings a crowd, but the man himself barely shows up. This isn't laziness. It's calculated. Welcome to the scam man era that, if you've made it this far and you're starting to see the pattern, how Drake has been selling smoke while pocketing the fire. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you're tired of being gaslit by a man who once rapped about trust, but now weaponizes it for ticket sales. And comment below, was this an innocent misunderstanding or a strategic scam? Drake wouldn't be here without his fans. Period. But lately, he's been treating that same loyalty like disposable income. He's banking on people showing up no matter what, even as he delivers less and less each time. The problem? That strategy only works until the audience stops believing the hype. And from concert walkouts to viral yawns, we're watching that break happen in real time. The pedestal's cracking, and it's his own weight causing the damage. OVO once meant something. It was a lifestyle, a stamp of exclusivity. Now it's a decoy. When fans saw OVO branding, they used to expect Drake's involvement. Today, that logo is mostly used to disguise how little he'll actually do. OVO is no longer a promise. It's a loophole. And behind that owl is an artist who keeps disappearing when it matters. Branding can't save you when your fans feel betrayed. After For All the Dogs went platinum, Drake rushed to post about it like it was a Grammy. But here's the catch: nobody cared. No celebration, no cultural moment, just a quiet, awkward flex on Instagram, like the kid bragging about perfect attendance when nobody asked. He's still racking up stats, but the soul is gone. Fans aren't dumb. They know the difference between a platinum plaque and a platinum impact. Drake is treating metrics like meaning, and it's not landing anymore. When an artist starts stacking collab albums back to back, that's not expansion, it's a crutch. Her loss with 21 Savage. Honestly, never mind with house producers. What a time to be alive. Style tag teams. It's all become a strategy to offload responsibility. He's not building worlds. He's borrowing oxygen. The co-headliner strategy works only until people realize you're hiding behind someone else's energy. And when those collaborators start outperforming you on your own stage, that's a red flag. If Drake announces a retirement soon, don't fall for it. It won't be about artistic growth. It'll be damage control. The touring grind is killing his mystique. His albums aren't hitting. The backlash is boiling. And worst of all, he has no leverage left in the industry. So what's the easiest PR move left? Pretend to walk away. A farewell tour would reboot sympathy, clear contracts, and give him space to recover without fixing the real problem. Quitting now wouldn't be rebellion. It would be survival. A fake viral thread recently claimed Drake told a fan to quit their job, and fans believed it. That's the scary part. The messages were absurd. Bosses are mad because they can't be you. Eat a mango. But it sounded like Drake. Why? Because even the parody version of Drake feels more emotionally present than the real one. That meme didn't just go viral. It hit a nerve. When satire feels more sincere than the artist himself, you've lost the room. Hardcore Drake fans will ride until the wheels fall off. But here's the twist. The casuals are starting to dip. The ones who casually stream Take Care, who showed up to one tour every few years, who bought OVO hoodies without caring about the drama. They're now asking, wait, what am I paying for? That's the moment legacy starts to rot. Not when the haters talk, but when the middle crowd tunes out. Once the magic fades to the masses, the myth fades with it. And here's what makes this different from every other Drake is falling off narrative we've heard before. This time, the numbers are backing it up. Social media engagement on his posts is down. Concert attendance is slipping. Even the streaming numbers, his last stronghold, are showing cracks. When Iceman dropped, it didn't dominate the charts the way his releases used to. It came and went like background noise. The cultural conversation has shifted. Drake used to be the main character of hip-hop discourse. Every tweet, every feature, every Instagram caption became a moment. Now, crickets. The timeline moves on without him. And when artists like Kendrick, Tyler, and even newer acts are generating more organic buzz with less effort, that's not a coincidence. That's a power shift. Drake's entire career was built on anticipation, moments, rollouts, connection. But today, we're seeing the opposite: shortcuts, confusion, and distance. From fake-outs in Toronto to ghost cameos on global tours, he's turning presence into a gimmick. Fans aren't just angry, they're exhausted. Think about it. When was the last time Drake created a genuine cultural moment that didn't involve controversy or beef? The Houston Hotline Bling dance? The In My Feelings challenge? Those days feel like a different era. Now, his biggest moments come from getting booed, getting into public feuds, or disappointing fans who paid to see him. That's not legacy building. That's legacy burning. And it gets worse. The trust economy in music is real. Once fans feel scammed, they don't just stop buying tickets. They stop defending you online. They stop streaming your deep cuts. They stop believing your next rollout will be different. The Vibes Cartel situation wasn't just bad PR. It was a trust violation that rippled through his entire fan base. Because if Drake can ghost his own birthday celebration in his own city, what won't he ghost? Even the industry is noticing. When an artist of Drake's caliber starts relying on endless features, collab albums, and borrowed energy just to stay relevant, that sends a message. He's out of ideas. The creative well is dry. And while some artists can pivot into elder statesman roles or focus on quality over quantity, Drake's entire brand was built on being everywhere, all the time. Without that omnipresence, what's left? And once trust breaks, it rarely rebuilds. This era won't be remembered for the music. It'll be remembered for the con. And if something doesn't change fast, nothing will ever be the same again. Drake used to sell out arenas with ease. Now, he can barely show up to the ones with his name on the flyer. And fans have noticed. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Drake might have already passed the point of no return. Not in terms of money. He'll be financially set for life. But in terms of cultural relevance, emotional connection, and artistic respect, those bridges are on fire. And unlike a diss track or a bad album rollout, you can't meme your way out of betraying your core audience. The saddest part? This was all preventable. If Drake had just been honest, if he'd said, I'm taking a step back, or I'm doing lighter appearances, fans would have understood. But instead, he chose deception. He chose to cash checks while delivering crumbs. And now, the bill is coming due. So, what happens next? Does Drake pull a Jay-Z and retire gracefully, only to return stronger? Does he double down and spiral further into contractual obligations and low-effort output? Or does he do something nobody expects and actually reconnect with the artistry that made him a legend in the first place? Right now, it's hard to say. But one thing's certain. The clock is ticking. The fans are watching and the goodwill is gone. Every move Drake makes from here will either rebuild what's left or cement him as a cautionary tale of what happens when you treat your audience like ATMs instead of human beings. If you think this was bad, just wait until you see the footage from his last tour, the one where fans literally threw garbage at him mid-set. But that's a story for another video. If you want the full breakdown of Drake's most disastrous tour moments, the receipts from angry fans, and the industry insiders who are finally speaking out, Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss it. And drop a comment below. Do you think Drake can come back from this, or is this the beginning of the end? Be honest, because at this point, even his biggest supporters are starting to wonder. Tap the like button, subscribe to Stars Tube, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.